Good afternoon, Fit and Vital Life community. Back-to-back training videos. This topic is something I've been wanting to cover for a while. It's mentioned by a lot of people quite often, so I've broke it down into 9 steps. 9 things which you need to consider when it comes to managing sweet and sugar cravings. Because this is the thing, right? It's down to your individuality and it's down to you as a person to figure this out using this information as well. This is something that can only be managed and handled by yourself. There's no quick fix. There's no magic wand. There's no perfect way of dealing with it. It's not just a one-size-fits-all thing. Everyone is completely different. It comes down to these sort of factors here. So similar to yesterday's video, you need to consider these options. All right, so the first thing is, how much do you want to get results? Because ultimately, if the goal that you have in mind, or what it is that you want to achieve in mind isn't painful enough, isn't big enough, doesn't mean that too much to you to start with, then all this stuff after that is going to seem like a ball ache, a big bunch of pile of hard work that you don't really care about or you're not interested in doing, because the thing that you want to achieve isn't really that important to you. So you'll always find excuses or reasons why it would be a good idea to have a sneaky biscuit there or a sneaky cup of cake there. And by the way, you guys know that I'm not against you guys having regular sweet treats. You know, I'm not totally against that at all. In fact, I encourage that. And I encourage you guys to do that so you can learn to manage. And it's based on these things here. So I'll cover it all again. And we'll go through it all step by step so you can get a bit of an idea of what sort of things you can take on board right now to help you with your sugar/sweet cravings. Okay, so number one, what is it you want to achieve? How important is it? What do you want to do? Do you want to lose 7 pounds, 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 14 pounds, 12 inches? What is it, and why is it important? Like, what's the end game here? What is going to make you want to do everything I'm about to list here and make you consider them on a daily basis when it comes to making the best choice you can make? That's got to be at the forefront of your mind from the get-go, all the time. It's got to be in front of your mind. Now, you know, I'm not about being super strict or being super, living like a crazy athlete or a bodybuilder or anything like that, but it's got to mean something to you. Your result has to mean something to you, or you're always just going to find a reason why it's a good idea to do this, that, and the other in excess. So, but these are some of the things that can help you get an idea of why you're getting these sort of sugar sweet cravings. But again, you know, it comes down to say you can do everything I'm about to say here the best you possibly can, but most of it's just psychological. It's upstairs. You know, it's a lot of it can be habit driven, which I'll talk to you about later on. It's just a habit. It's ingrained, you know, from triggers. Like for some people, it could be their break time at work. For years or months, they've had this trigger where, let's just say, that break time bell goes off. I don't know how you get breaks in offices these days, but let's just say it's the same schedule the whole time. So 11 o'clock just triggers cup of coffee and a cake, cup of coffee and a cake, cup of coffee and a cake. And that goes on for months and months and months, maybe even years. It's a habit, and it's based from a trigger. It's something that's embedded throughout months or years of time. So sometimes it is just a habit, and it's about just breaking that habit, which isn't easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. But it can be changed. All habits can be changed. It's just the same with any big, serious habit. Smokers. You know, I've got a trigger with coffee. You know, I love coffee, but every morning, as soon as I wake up, bang, that's my trigger for a cup of coffee. Straight away, nothing else. The first thing I do every single morning is make a cup of coffee. And that's just a triggered, ingrained habit every single day. I never used to do that. I used to wake up and have a breakfast first thing. But I had a different lifestyle back then. But now, first thing, wake up, the trigger is bang, cup of coffee, bang, cup of coffee. And that's just a habit that's just formed over time. And that could be the exact same thing with your sugar/sweet cravings. You know, they can have addictive qualities, I suppose, if they're in excess. I doubt that'll be the case for you guys. I think most of the time it's just down to habit and choice and the thought processes behind those choices. More than anything. More than anything. I think for everyone in this group, I would say so anyway. There will be exceptions in and around the world, I'm sure. But for you guys, because I know all of you, I don't think there's any sort of crazy number addiction going on where you need your sugar fix so you can go, ah! Do you know what I mean? So I think this will be all right there. So these are some of the tips that you can apply, which can help manage them and help you understand and learn and figure out why you're having these sugar sweet cravings. So number one, high fiber and high essential fat. Having high fiber options and high essential fat options at your meal times is a good way to make you feel full. Fats and fiber, they slow down the release of simple sugars from carbohydrates. So these are one of the reasons why I don't suggest that you eat a lot of fruit on its own, or at least consistently over a long period of time, just because of that. The simple sugars and the carbohydrates, they run through your body very, very quickly. Your body breaks them down very quick and uses them very quick, and then that leaves you feeling hungry again very quickly, because your body's first energy source, so it's broken down very quick, used for energy, or almost immediately by your body, and then you're left feeling hungry again. So having a meal, even snacks, breakfasts, every single time you go to eat something, I always try and make it as balanced every single time. I very, 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 very rarely have fruit on its own. I'll have it sometimes with a handful of nuts. Again, high in fiber, high in protein, high in essential fats. It's a bit more balanced, and it just helps to slow down that input of food. So it's all balanced and everything's just getting tread in a balanced manner. So there's no big spike of blood sugar and it's not too low. Everything's just getting dealt with managed in a manageable manner, which helps to keep your blood sugar steady. So by doing that, you're allowing yourself to feel fuller for longer, as they say. But really, it's just giving the body exactly what it needs. The body needs things in balance. Its whole purpose in life is to maintain balance. So giving it a balanced meal every time is a good way to manage your blood sugar, so you don't have this need for a blood sugar spike. Does that make sense? Often that could be the case. Maybe if you, again, this is what I'm going to say at the very end about reflecting on it, but figure it out for yourself. Like, when it comes to these sweet sugar craving moments, reflect and think about where it's coming from. So let's just say I've got a sweet sugar craving at 8 p.m. at night. Just think about it straight away and recognize that, where is this coming from? Why am I craving these sweet sugar cravings right now? What I'm trying to say at this point is that one of the reasons why you could be experiencing that sugar sweet craving, maybe you haven't eaten enough or enough balanced meals leading up to this point, and your blood sugar is low. So the body's response is, it's confusing to the human side, to your brain, again, through just years and years of just responding and habits and the perception of what that experience is. Sometimes it can be in need of sugar, mind you. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, we know, like diabetics, for example, sometimes they do need that. It is needed, that sugar. But oftentimes it's not. And you'll know the difference as well. If you're really busy, lightheaded, feel sick, maybe your blood sugar is so low that you need that boom, that sugar hit straight away. But when it comes to just you sitting there watching Coronation Street at 8 o'clock night and you go, ooh, quite fancy a bit of chocolate, you're not in need of that sugar hit. It's more likely the fact that you haven't been eating regular balanced meals throughout the day. Your blood sugar is starting to drop. And again, it's just from triggers and habits that you're going to need something quick. And you're confusing the fact that you need some sort of sugar or some sort of kick with the fact that you just need actually a balanced meal. and just some actual food and nutrients, because the body's saying there that you may well have a low blood sugar and you're probably just hungry at that point. But again, it's just from habits and triggers where in the past you may have well just went for a bit of chocolate or whatever, so that sort of sparks it. Maybe not, but that's one thing you need to consider. Think about the moment that you're in. Have I in the past regularly went for a bit of cake or a bit of chocolate at this point? You'll know. And again, what have I been doing throughout the day? How regular have my meals been, and what have I been eating? Have I been eating a lot of carbohydrate foods, which I explained before, the body's first choice of energy, so they're used very quick. But fats, proteins, and fiber are processed a lot slower, so they help to keep you fuller for longer, and just help your body feel naturally full, and it just utilizes energy over time. So think about that. Think about your meals. So that'll be the first thing, is you've got to be aware. You can't just react and respond to every time you get these cravings. Think about them first. I'll jump to water because it's going that way. Maybe you're just thirsty. I've spoke about this before. The body's there's been some studies to suggest that the response when you're hungry and thirsty is very similar in the body, unless it's extreme. So when you think that you might be hungry, you could be thirsty, and vice versa. So one of the bits of advice that I've suggested in the past, and that I test on myself all the time, is whenever I think that I'm hungry or need some food, especially if it's only been a short time before I've eaten, and I feel hungry again, and that meal is being balanced, maybe again that's just triggers coming in. Maybe you've seen something, like, I don't know, maybe you're in a cafe and you've had a cheese sandwich or whatever because you're trying to be good, but you've also went past the scones and the cakes and all that kind of stuff. And maybe you're out again and you see them again, and they're just sparking in your mind that you want that, or that you need that, or that you're hungry. It's like kids with sweets as well. Like, they'll see sweets and they'll just want them. They don't need them. It's just because you see them and you think that you want them or you need them. So consider the fact that you may just be thirsty. You get this trigger, you get this moment where you've got this sugar sweet craving. Have a glass of water, sip on some water. Let that sink in for 10, 20 minutes. How do you feel? Do you still feel hungry? Consider that. And also, one of the big things is don't restrict yourself too much. I done a post on this a few days back when Jean was asking about the chocolate, and I said, and my advice was to have the chocolate. If you try and restrict yourself too much and stop, if you try to just give up on all the foods that you love, you're going to fail. You're going to relapse. You're going to get that chocolate. You're going to get that takeaway eventually. It's only a matter of time. You're kidding yourself if you think that you're just going to quit your favorite things forever. Some things you might not enjoy anymore, or know that you don't want to have anymore, and therefore you quit on them, and that's fine. But most people enjoy chocolate, and most people would never be able to give up chocolate unless there's a damn good reason why they wanted to. So don't restrict yourself too much. You've got to learn at the end of the day to manage these sweet cravings and these sugar cravings. So take on board everything I said so far and still enjoy the bits of chocolate here and there and everywhere. But one of my bits of advice is, if you may not have heard this yet, but I'm sure you would have done, maybe it's not to you guys, is to have these sort of treats and these cheat meals, if you want to call them cheat meals, or chocolate cravings or whatever, have them on a training day, a day where you've trained. Because when your body is trained, especially when you've trained hard, remember, it's depleted its energy stores because it's used them for the exercise. So now it's in a state of repair and rebuilding, and that's where food comes in. So the body's in that state where it's revved up and it's ready to use this fuel that you're about to put in to help repair and utilize it into the right areas. If you were sitting on the couch all day and you were just eating a Mars bar, but you never moved, the body's just took in a whole bunch of food, a whole bunch of energy, And it needs to do something with that. And if it can't utilize the energy, it just stores it away as body fat. But if you trained beforehand, it's in a state now where it's in need of repair. So it's more likely to utilize some of that fuel to help replenish your glycogen stores. I hate getting techy and sciencey, but it's in a position now where it's going to use some of that sugar and some of that energy to help repair your muscles. Let's just say that. Okay? That's one thing to consider. I touched on it before, but yeah, regular balanced meals. So I always say try not to leave 3 to 4 hours in the groups. It's got like a recipe to success at the top of each group, with the nutrition guide and the portion control stuff. Always be reading over this to remind you that's what it's there for. And I touch on there on having regular balanced meals. You don't want to be leaving too long between. The general guide is 2 to 4 hours, having some sort of meal or snack to keep your blood sugar stable, your metabolism rocking. But again, that comes down to the individual. Maybe you're not hungry, maybe you've had a huge lunch, maybe you've had a huge breakfast. It can vary, that's just a general guide. But the key here to take away is to not purposely be leaving huge gaps between meals because of other reasons other than the fact that you aren't hungry. Always be drinking water during as well. But if you just purposely just not eating meals because you haven't got time or other things are in the way, if you're hungry, you need to be eating. All right, don't put that last. And also in the goal tracker sheet, which I sent everyone, you should be using that goal tracker sheet to set yourself daily goals, like the things I've just been listing, like maybe to drink more water, do more steps, whatever it may take. But then the last one is also like a habit change. So choose one thing, one habit that you can change each day. It could be something like adding more high fiber and high essential fats into my lunch. Or what I was mentioned before about it's got to be something easy as well. I'm not going to just start breaking a months or years worth of habits in one day or in 1 week. But just something that you could change, like maybe that break time one that I mentioned. Maybe you could half that cake if it's a cake, or if you can, maybe even not have that cake there, and just start trying to form these new habits. And there's an app that you can download. It's written in the goal tracker sheet. You can use an app which can also help you. So if you prefer to use it on your phone, something's going to alert you, something's going to remind you on your phone or through the watch. If that helps, use that. That's what it's there for. And also use alternative options as well to get that fix. So again, recipe packs. In these recipe packs that are in the groups, there's bags of different options, loads of good options. Fruits are a good way to get that sweet craving without going for the chocolates or whatever. But again, just have it as part of if you have it as part of like a smoothie, as part of the balanced smoothie, you're getting that sweetness, but it's also in a balance of other things that are inside the smoothie, which are going to help, again, slow down that process of that big blood sugar spike. You can even use dark chocolate. Now I've started grating dark chocolate on my yogurts, which have got berries and flax seeds in. Again, it's just a way to get that sort of sweet fix without actually having to gorge on what you would normally gorge on. And one of the most important things is to be consistent with these things as well. So you can't just do all of this in one day and think, right, job done. I've now got rid of me sweet cravings. Got to do this consistently, because like I say, these could just be habits. Do these on a consistent basis and you'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel fuller. You'll start to feel that you're not craving as much. If it was due to a blood sugar thing, you'll see that by eating regular balanced meal. If it's just purely down to a blood sugar thing, because you're not eating well enough or consistently enough, that the regular meals and the high fiber and the essential fats, that'll fix that. But if it's psychological and habits, then that takes consistent work, and you've really got to be mindful of it, and you've got to be clear on your goals and how important it is for you to really put a conscious effort to making these changes. They don't have to be massive changes every day, but consistently trying to make some sort of small effort each day to make changes to these habits, over time produce massive results. Just think of people who gradually quit smoking, gradually give up drugs or alcohol or any kind of addiction or habit. It takes time, takes attention, takes focus, but most importantly, they've got to have a clear reason why they want to do that. They've got to have a good end goal. There's got to be a reason why you put all this effort in every single day. There's got to be something at the end of it. Otherwise, you'll just find it too easy to make excuses. And yeah, that comes on to the closing one there, is to reflect and figure out what these things are. So use all of these tips and be constantly reflecting each day on what's working, what's not, what's helping, what you could do more of, what haven't I done yet. Figure out, always be looking at what these triggers are, if there are any, or is it just due down to a food issue and food choices. Try the fixes. Are the fixes helping? So the alternative fixes, use the recipe packs for good quality, high fiber, essential fat meals. That's what they're there for. And just reflect and figure it out. You've got to figure it out. It's in your hands at the end of the day, because only you know your own body, and only you can figure out why you're getting these cravings. These are ways that you can help figure things out, but without you actually implementing any of these things, then there's no other way I can help, really. You've got to be trying to figure it out using this advice. So if mums comes down the line and someone comes to me again who's watched this video saying I'm still getting sugar and sweet cravings, well, my first thing is straight away is, okay, well, what's your goal? Right, well, I want to lose 14 pounds in 12 weeks because I've got a holiday coming up. All right, excellent, great, clear goal. So what are we going to do now going forward to make sure you hit that goal? Or what have you done? And then they say, oh, well, I'm still getting sugar sweet cravings. Okay, so what changes have you sort of made? What are you doing to help based on what you've done from this video? Because I'm future pacing, yeah, it's been a couple of weeks down the line, still getting sugar sweet cravings, but they still got to go. See this video. So what have you applied from the video, or nothing? Well, if there's no effort and there's no desire or action being taken from these steps, then I'm figuring either one, that goal isn't that important. You know, yeah, it would be nice to lose 10, 14 pounds, but really it's not that important. Because heck, look, think about anything that you've ever done in your life. Forget about weight loss for a minute. Let's just say you went on to be a teacher. That took a shitload of time, shitload of effort, shitload of education, sleepless nights doing essays, researching, sacrifices, consistent work to reach that goal. Changing, getting things marked, figuring out what was wrong, doing it again. That's an achievement just as much as weight loss is. But you put in the work there to get that end result. Could be a promotion of some kind in your job, doing better, making changes, coming in earlier, whatever it may be. You've got to figure out what more you can do or what changes you can make to get to the end result. These are the things that you need to do just as much as a professor at the university who would say, right, if you want to be a teacher, you need to get this mark, you need to do this, you need to read these books, you need to blah, 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 and then they've got to go ahead and do it. If you want a promotion, then you've got to prove that you're good enough to get a promotion. You've got to do this, you've got to do that, whatever it may be. I don't know the exact steps there, but the point is, any achievement in life requires you to go through a period of steps, a series of steps, doing things which are going to get you towards that goal and tweaking, changing, analysing, reflecting, seeking help. All these things are just steps towards that goal. Likewise with weight loss. Sweet and sugar cravings are just a roadblock. They're just something in the way which you need to figure out how to fix to get you past that goal. Just as much as any other roadblock in any other achievement. It's just a thing that's in the way, a thing you need to figure out, a thing you need to fix. This is good, solid advice which you can apply, take on board, and use to figure out which one of these things is going to get you past this roadblock. And of course, let me know. Try these things. And if you're struggling with these things along the way, you can message me anytime. You post in the group. This is what the groups are there for. This is what the chats are there for. And I repeatedly tell you to message me anytime if you're struggling with anything, because I can help you out. But if you just come back and just say the same things, that sugar, sweet cravings are getting in the way. Okay, well, what are you doing different? Oh, well, nothing. And I can't help with that, because this is the step that you need to take right now. Number one, what's the goal? Number two, is it my food options? How have I been eating recently? Fill in a food diary, maybe. Have I been eating too many simple carbohydrates? So too much carbohydrates on their own. Am I not eating enough fiber? Am I not getting enough essential fats in my diet? Could it be that? Try that. See how you feel, and then move on to the next one. All about trial and error. Everyone's completely different, and everyone could have complete different circumstances as to why they're getting sweet sugar cravings. But you've got to figure this out by going through this stuff, applying the changes, seeing how it works, and then move forward with whatever result you get. And by all means, message me along the way, and I can help you figure this out. No problem. But you've got to let me know, and you've got to be doing the steps, making the changes, and trying, so that I can help you along the way. Okay, so I hope this video has helped. My advice going forward is to, one, dig out the recipe packs and use them for good meal options at all meal times. Be varied, experiment, try new things, don't be shy. And use the nutrition guide and the recipes for success at the top of the group, which give you some good information on education on portion sizes and how often to eat meals, etc., and analyze and reflect every time you're getting these cravings, what could be causing it, and what could you apply going forward to help minimize them cravings or completely eliminate them. It's going to be one of these things. I highly doubt someone in this group is addicted to sugar. But if you are, that could be it. Maybe you go through all of this and maybe you got an addiction to sugar, possibly. In which case, that's out my scope of health. I'm not an addiction expert. But these type of things can help you figure it out. All right. I hope this video has helped. Again, if there's any questions, leave a comment in the video, post a comment in the group. Or, of course, message me anytime if you want some personal help. I'm happy to help anyone who is making big, big efforts to change. You know that I'm happy to help, and I'm here to help you along the way. All right? Do the work, and I can help you out. Take care. Bye-bye.